407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. What you have just heard are some of the most powerful and important words in my country's 237 years, the Gettysburg Address. It was my honor to recite it for you and hopefully stir your heart as we now revisit the time and place that the speech was given. On November 19th, 1863, in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, our 16th President Abraham Lincoln delivered the most famous 2-minute speech in all of American history. The speech was given 4 months after the Battle of Gettysburg, the most famous battle of the Civil War. It was delivered at the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery in honor of the many soldiers that lost their lives and those who suffered casualties during the war. Abraham Lincoln wrote the address to make certain the battle would be seen as a great union and to define the purpose in fighting the war. Many believe his motivating words reshaped the nation in one principle: equality. Lincoln wanted the people to understand what freedom means to us and how much we owe the brave soldiers who died at Gettysburg. The address was founded on the belief that all men have an equal right to liberty and freedom. Lincoln says in his speech, the citizens of the United States have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, meaning they govern themselves by free elections. His speech stressed the importance of the soldiers who gave their lives to save our government and our way of life. Lincoln had dramatically made the people aware of their rights and responsibilities, holding the government answerable to the people preserving the United States Constitution. The Gettysburg Address is regarded as one of the greatest speeches ever given. President Abraham Lincoln addressed the principle of human equality, rights, and responsibilities, bringing about a new birth of freedom. The Gettysburg Address can be seen on the south wall of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It has become the source of hope for millions that view it every year. I am one of the fortunate people to have visited the Lincoln Memorial. This happened when I was only 7 years old, but I remember it like it was yesterday. In fact, after researching and making this presentation, I have a renewed interest in visiting the memorial again someday. President Abraham Lincoln has passed on, but his famous words from the Gettysburg Address are still alive in the hearts of American people, inspiring them to hold fast the values of democracy, equality, and human rights. So what are we to learn from this president and this speech that can help us today? For one, we can learn that no matter the time or place, we should all treat each other with respect. Today, just as 150 years ago, we are all due our rights, and each of us are held responsible to further the principles our country was founded on. More than ever before, I thank God for President Abraham Lincoln and the United States of America.